Joining us now, Democratic Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia. The collision, of course, happened over the Potomac River, which forms part of the border between his state and the nation's capital. Senator, good to see you this morning. Let's just start here in terms of the latest that you've been briefed on in terms of the cause of this terrible tragedy 2 nights ago.
Well, Jonathan, we don't really know the cause, but we have a lot of questions that we're answering. We know that the air traffic control tower at Reagan National, which was supposed to have about 30 air traffic controllers, only has about 19 because of severe air traffic controller shortages in Washington and nationally. We know that normally there would be somebody in the tower handling helicopter traffic and someone else handling plane traffic because those pilots speak on different frequencies. And so you need to have that with one person handling both, having to toggle back and forth between different frequencies. The question would be, were all the pilots able to hear one another? And then we know this airport is over congested. I begged my colleagues last year when we were debating a bill in Congress not to keep forcing more flights into Reagan National. It was built to accommodate 15 million passengers in and out. You guys know this airport well. It's now at 25 million passengers a year in and out. Together with military flights and other really complex security restrictions in the national capital region, I believe just the congestion of the airspace in the airport itself is something that the NTSB is going to be looking at very carefully.
Well, Senator, let's do a little more on just that. I know you, as you said, you and some of your colleagues had raised those concerns years ago. And we, as you say, there's not only has DCA expanded its output, but there's just so much aircraft, military aircraft in particular. There are all these bases surrounding the nation's capital that are constantly in the air. It's such a choreography by these air traffic controllers to get everything up and down safely. We know there have been a number of near misses even before yesterday's crash. So is there something more you can do now? Is there legislation or a call for review that you and your colleagues may put forward in the wake of this tragedy?
Well, we need to act quickly, but not precipitously. Although the NTSB investigations can take a while, they often will issue some preliminary recommendations, and we can act on those. I'll give you an example. Coincidentally, we had the hearing yesterday for President Trump's nominee to be Secretary of the Army. The helo that went down with these 3 soldiers came out of Fort Belvoir, an Army base about 20 miles south. We asked Dan Driscoll, the nominee, should you be confirmed, can we work with you to analyze training flights, their frequency, their location, their time of day, and he pledged that he would work with us on that. So that needn't wait for the ultimate investigation. There are things like that that I think we can tackle as we're working on the defense bill right now. But we need to let the NTSB get the work done, and we need to press forward on air traffic control hiring. You know, President Trump doing a hiring freeze and putting somebody in as the chief guy in the Office of Management and Budget who says he wants to traumatize federal employees. We don't need to traumatize air traffic controllers. We need to hire more, train more, have continue to have standards of excellence, because when you're short-staffed in air traffic controllers, it leads to delay and it leads to dangerous situations and sometimes tragically accidents.
Senator, stay with us. We want to get your thoughts on more of what President Trump had to say. He blamed Democrats and diversity programs yesterday in the Biden administration for the deadly collision. NBC News Chief White House correspondent Peter Alexander brings us more.
With the remains of victims still being recovered from the frigid Potomac River, President Trump blamed his 2 Democratic predecessors.
I put safety first. Obama, Biden, and the Democrats put policy first.
And diversity requirements in the military and FAA that he just ended with executive orders.
They actually came out with a directive to white, and we want the people that are competent.
Still, the president offered no evidence that diversity programs had anything to do with the deadly collision. His remarks began with a moment of silence and condolences.
We grieve for every precious soul that has been taken from us so suddenly.
But quickly took a sharp turn, the commander-in-chief criticizing the Army helicopter's crew.
You had a pilot problem from the standpoint of the helicopter.
Pressed how he could conclude diversity hirings contributed to the crash before all the facts were known.
Have common sense. okay? For some jobs, they have to be at the highest level of genius.
Among his targets, former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg.
He's just got a good line of bull. He's run it right into the ground with his diversity.
Buttigieg calling the president's comments despicable, writing, as families grieve, Trump should be leading, not lying, adding, "We put safety first." The president also cited language on the FAA's website about recruiting those with disabilities.
It's on the website, the FAA's website. It was there in 2013. It was there for the entirety.
What I read.
It was there for the entirety of your administration,
Nice and
too.
easy.
So my question is, why didn't you change the policy during your first
I
administration?
did change it. I changed the Obama policy, and we had a very good policy. And then Biden came in, and he changed it. And then when I came in 3 days ago, I signed a new order bringing it to the highest level of intelligence. Okay.
Later, the president dismissed a question whether he would visit the crash site.
What's the site? The water?
Or to meet with the first responders down there?
I don't have a plan to do that.
Do you want me to go swimming? President Trump said there, if you couldn't hear it. And to Senator Kane's point of a moment ago about waiting for the NTSB to come to conclusions about what happened, well, President Trump's not doing that. Just a few moments ago on Truth Social, he wrote this: the Black Hawk helicopter was flying too high by a lot. It was far above the 200-foot limit. That's not really too complicated to understand, is it? No sensitivity there from the president, nor is he waiting for investigations to conclude. Let's now bring in president of the National Action Network and host of MSNBC's Politics Nation, the Reverend Al Sharpton. Rev, good to see you this morning. Let's get your thoughts here, and then please take it to the senator about what we heard from President Trump yesterday, blaming, with no evidence whatsoever, acknowledging he had no evidence, blaming hiring practices centered around DEI, centered around diversity, for what happened the other night.
Well, clearly the president has a racial obsession, and he's using whatever race baiting he can to get elected and maintain. But you would think when we're seeing 67 people that have been killed by an accident and that their families are dealing with the shock of that, that he would try and appeal for all of us to mourn the families and give the families our grievances, condolences, and prayers, and bring us all together, because any of us could have been on that flight. All of us fly back and forth to Washington a lot. Rather than do that, he does 3 minutes of let's pause in silence, and then let's blame the blacks, let's blame the disabled. I mean, this kind of venom is beyond someone that I think is capable of having some kind of human feeling. And Senator Kane, as we look at the president race baiting and pouring these kind of assertions on the disabled and others, the fact that he never, Pete Alexander raised it, never changed the policy that President Obama had started. He never changed it in the 4 years he was in. So he's obviously trying to just play to a certain crowd. How do we deal with this misinformation in the middle of not lowering our standards to his, but also separate the DEI issue, which is a real issue, something of concern, from being gaslighted by the bias of the president?
Well, Reverend Sharpton, thanks for, critiquing this and pointing out how insensitive it was to the family members for the president to do that. But I wish I had been a reporter in that room, because I think the president was race baiting to take attention away from this. He let Elon Musk force the resignation of the FAA administrator at the beginning of the administration. He disbanded on day 2 of the administration an aviation safety committee within DHS, and the reason for disbanding it is we want to focus on national security. What, air safety isn't national security? He has got an OMB director who was pushing a hiring freeze and federal funding pauses, saying, I want to traumatize the federal workforce when we already have too few air traffic controllers. This president is starting off, just within a week and a half, an anti-safety agenda that is going to hurt our air safety, and he desperately did not want to be asked about that. I think that's why he went the race baiting route, because he realized, wow, we just sacked the FAA administrator, we just sacked the Aviation Safety Board. Man, they're going to come after us. We better blame somebody else.
Yeah, it's certainly a familiar page in Trump's playbook to shift blame in a moment like this. Senator, lastly, before you go, it's such a busy time in Washington right now, including confirmation hearings for a number of the president's cabinet selections. You were in yesterday with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the Health Committee, grilled him on a number of issues. Talk to us about how that went. Do you think, after listening to him the last couple of days, that he is fit to serve?
No, he is not fit to serve. He is such a brain-addled conspiracy theorist, and I used my moment to challenge him on a particular conspiracy. For some reason, in July of 2024, 21 years after 9/11, he tweeted on his own account, you know, my take on 9/11. It's hard to tell what is a conspiracy theory and what isn't. I won't take sides on 9/11. Now, why would somebody say something like that? 23 years after 9/11, I won't take sides on 9/11. I could tell as I was looking at my Republican colleagues across the aisle that they were having some significant concerns about a guy who won't even take sides on 9/11. I don't even know what that means. Does he think it was space lasers? Does he think it was, you know, undocumented? I mean, I don't know what the heck that means, but we don't need somebody who can't tell the difference between a conspiracy theory and reality running the most important public health department in the United States.
Democratic Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia. Senator, thank you as always.
Absolutely.